Did you know that just by prioritizing a couple hours of meal prep per week, that could transform your health and save you time? Well, according to the Public Health Nutrition, 70% of people who meal prep actually report improved dietary quality. And then also, according to the Meal Prep Society, meal prepping can actually save an average of 8 hours per week. That's even just insane to think about. If you're new to my channel, my name is Dr. Erica Steele. I'm a board certified naturopathic doctor. I hold 7 degrees in my field, all in the natural healthcare space. I like to say that I went to school so you don't have to. And join me for our Wellness Collective. We are launching this month in January. So it's okay if you find me in another month. We are doing it every single month. And it has structured education, including our free live webinars. So it gives you an opportunity to check the content out to go deeper. This month, we're all talking about the holistic mindset, breaking down the mind into all these different aspects so that you can be more empowered with your mindset, giving you practical solutions. And so if you want more information, you can join our free community or click any of the links below. All right, so let's talk about some simple ways that we can save time and improve our health with meal prepping. So I like to do the 3P method, which is something that I, developed myself, which is pick, plan, prep. Very simple. So I'm going to pick out, proteins, carbs, and fats. Obviously, I'm going to keep my fats low unless I'm training for something. And then I work on my complex carbohydrates, which are my fruits and my vegetables. Also to quinoa, which has a lot of protein in it as well. And then I'm going to do my proteins, lean proteins like fish, or my plant protein sources. So first thing I do is check out what I have, make a list of all of those different macros. So my proteins, my carbs, as well as my fats. And then I'm going to create just 3 to 5 really simple balanced recipes. Oh, I can just pull from here. I can pull from here. I can pull from here. I may not even come up with the idea, but at least I've got the ingredients. So I know I can do it on the fly. And so you want to tend to prep in batches. Now, I learned the hard way with this, excuse me, where I didn't really like to batch. Some people enjoy batching on a weekly basis. I really didn't like that, and it wasn't as efficient for me. And so I like to batch a little bit at a time. So, one day for maybe a day and a half. And that way it keeps the food fresh and, I don't get bored with it. So I do make sure that I wash, chop, and portion out little, fruits and vegetables, like slicing red peppers or onions and putting those in airtight containers for simple, really grab and go. And speaking of containers, definitely I tend to like the glass ones. It doesn't have all the PBAs and those sorts of things, but I definitely make sure that they can click down so that no air gets in them so we stay fresh. And then usually, again, you get into a flow, maybe you prep or chop, or maybe you don't have time and you just purchase already pre-chopped. It's definitely a little bit more expensive, but can save you a little more time. And sometimes those go on sale, that sort of thing. So you want to prep one day, kind of chop everything, and then do simple things where you can do just veggies and your protein, and then have a rice cooker, with some quinoa or some rice or whatever you're going to have for your grain. And so also, too, I really love using the crock pot because you can just throw everything in there. A lot of times you don't even need a recipe. Just throw a whole bunch of ingredients with some, veggie stock or, some chicken stock or whatever you wanted to use. And then boom, it just makes a delicious dish that is so good, especially in the winter time. But you want to really cook meals that freeze well for future. So soups, stews, grain-based dishes, but definitely watch that if you're doing more gluten-free. And the last thing I'm going to say is dedicate some meal prep time. So I'm very guilty of this, not prioritizing this and then kind of working on the fly. But, if you're new to this, I definitely wouldn't recommend that because you don't want it to be overwhelming, especially if you're learning something new. So make sure that you put that in your schedule, that you are going to dedicate to that. And again, like I was telling you some of the things that I learned about myself, this is definitely a journey. It's not a destination. So it's not like maybe what works for me doesn't work for you, but it's really you practicing and getting the hang of taking care of yourself and really your family. So if you want to learn more about how you can shift your mindset, really to help, because it really begins in the mind, right? So it starts with your mindset around things and your understanding, and then your emotions tied to that. I know that we don't always like to work with our emotions, but our emotions are a motivation because our thoughts create our emotions and then our actions, behaviors, lifestyles, and habits, all the things. So if you want to break all of this down in the Wellness Collective, or even just joining our free community so you can have updates for like our morning flow, or even our free live webinar every single month, we would love to have you. So awesome. Have an amazing day, and like, share, subscribe, and comment for more.